Cristiano Ronaldo, vai embora Cristiano Ronaldo, mete, bateu, golo.
Balotelli, Aguero! Posse de bola para Portugal, vai Éder, chuta!
Olá a todos, sejam muito bem-vindos a mais um episódio do nosso podcast dos Panenka. Estamos aqui para mais um Europa à Panenka e desta vez com o Duncan, adepto do Antwerp, e vamos falar um pouco sobre o jogo da Liga dos Campeões desta semana frente ao Porto. Agora vou passar para inglês e teremos aqui mais um episódio desta nossa série. So, hi Duncan, how are you doing?
Hi Miguel, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
That's good. So tell me first of all a little bit of your project, and then we start from there.
Our podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it started I think in Corona times, 3.5 years ago.
Just like ours.
Yeah, a couple of guys having nothing to do, so
Yeah.
we started a podcast. It was in the start just once every few weeks, but then it evolved, and now it's 2 times a week. And I think this week or next week we're gonna have our 300th episode. The Vierkante Paal, it's called. I know how it's called in Portuguese. The square goalposts in English. The reason, just briefly, Belgium was the last club in Antwerp was the last club in Belgium to have square goalposts instead of round ones.
Okay.
So that's where the name came from.
All right. So from here, of course, we're talking because Porto is going to face Antwerp on Champions League. Tell me a bit about Antwerp recent history. You last season had 32 victories, 9 losses, and 11 draws. It was a season where Antwerp was a Belgian champion. You can go from last season to a bit others to explain how Antwerp is nowadays, if you can arrange something like that. And then we'll talk about our present.
Okay, so Antwerp already exists since 1880, so it's a very old club, the oldest club in Belgium. But until 7 or 8 years ago, we were struggling in the second league, always money trouble, finishing 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th in the league, no money. Until one day, a very rich real estate guy from Belgium wanted to buy a football club. So he did. He put a lot of money into it. I think now it's about 150 million that he's put into it in the last 6-7 years, which is very much for a club in Belgium. And after he bought the club, we promoted in the second year. And then since 2017, always finished in the top 5, top 6 in Belgium. And last year we became champions. Nobody expected it, but it was great. Yeah. That's a short history of our club.
Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you won the Super Cup, right? In this season already.
Yeah.
You are 6th now in the championship. How do you think that Antwerp arrives to this season in Champions League? You weren't much present in last season on Champions League. How do you think it is for the fans of Antwerp, and of course to the owner that probably achieved one of his goals, investing on the club?
Yeah, it's the ultimate goal for him, of course, and for us as supporters, it's until the first game against Athens, in the playoffs. It was the first time that we heard the Champions League hymn. The champions in our stadium. So it was surreal for most people. Some even cried a bit. Yeah, it's a surreal feeling to 10 years ago, not even 10 years ago, we were struggling in the second league, and now we have home games against Porto and Barcelona. It's a strange feeling, but it's a nice feeling.
Being in a group with Porto, Barcelona, even Shakhtar that last season won to Real Madrid, it's a bit of a difference comparing to last season or even the last 8-7 seasons, as you were saying. Even though you are in sixth place, how do you think, or what are the odds of Antwerp can be probably a surprise and passing the group?
I think we had a good chance last home game against Shakhtar. From the moment of the draw, we already knew Porto and Barcelona they're too good for us. We knew that. But we thought Shakhtar, not the team it once was, maybe it's possible. And we were 2-0 up at halftime. We played some really good football, missed the chances for 3-0, but then came out of the dressing room and really were shit. The game changed completely. Shakhtar were good suddenly. Even missed a chance for 3-3 in the last minute of the second half. So now it's going to be very difficult. If we want to finish third, we're going to have to win in Shakhtar. It's easy as that in a month's time. Because I don't think many people believe that we're going to pick up any points against Porto or Barcelona. Perhaps Porto at home, if we are really good and Porto has an off day, perhaps something is possible. We'll see.
Yeah, last season Porto lost one of the group games 5-0 against Club Rouge. It was a big surprise for us, even though we afterwards won also 5-0. But it was a big loss in the group stage. If Antwerp can achieve a result like that against Porto or Barcelona and then win against Shakhtar, there are really good chances to be in third place and go to the Europa League.
Yeah, but the difference is Club Rouge already played Champions League for 6-7 years after each other. So they had the experience, they had more money, perhaps better players. But to win 4-0 at Porto was also for them a big surprise because in the league they were shit. But who knows? Miracles do happen.
If you can tell me a bit about your squad, what's your biggest star, your biggest new players, who should we be pay more attention during the game? You have one big legend in the Europe football, Alderweireld, that played for Tottenham. Tell me a bit about your squad.
Okay, our squad is pretty young. It's the philosophy of our technical director, Overmars. Perhaps some people will know him from his Barcelona and Arsenal years and Ajax. But definitely our biggest talent is Arthur Vermeeren. He's one of the most highly rated youngsters in Europe. He's just 18 years old, became Belgium international last week. He really is one of the best players in Belgium, and definitely our most highly rated one in market value. So he's definitely the one to look out for. Against Shakhtar, he was for Antwerp norms really out of this world. So he's the one you should look out for. And our striker is having a tough period at the moment. Vincent Janssen. I don't know if you know him. Tottenham, a Dutch international. But he's having a dry spell at the moment. So let's hope he finds the goal again. And how about Porto? Who should we look out for?
Our striker is having a difficult time too, Taremi. Even though he's scoring like 3 goals this season, it's not. We are not used to it. Evan Nilsson came from injury, and he scored 2 goals in the last 2 games, which was good. Of course, some of our biggest stars like Otavio have left for Al Nassr. And of course, we have Diogo Costa as a goalkeeper, who is one of the highest rated goalkeepers in the world right now. Probably our biggest difficulties are on our defense. Our center backs have been injured. Marcano is not playing until the rest of the season. Pepe is having some difficulties too.
Is he? How old is he now, Pepe?
He's 39.
39, yeah. Is he still... In Belgium, we call him a smeerlapke, a real bastard. Is he still that kind of player?
Yeah, I believe he's not as he was in Real Madrid. I think he pulled it out more of that side of him in Real Madrid, and in Porto he relaxed a bit, but he still breathes really strong. Like, there's 1 in 100 players in the Portuguese league that pass through him. Even with 39 years old, he can still run like most of the attacking players in Portuguese league, because he really perceives the game. He really knows how to read the game, and he covers the spaces as like the best in the world. It's really a pleasure to see him in Porto again. And yeah, those are our biggest names, I believe. We have some players that can change the game on the 1v1s, as Pepe. He didn't achieve his highest level, I believe, as well as Galeno, who is really well on Champions League. Just last season, and even in this season against Shakhtar, where he scored and assisted. So yeah, we have a good squad. I would say worse than last year, but yeah, it's a really good squad, and of course our coach, which it's in Porto 7 years. For 7 years.
We know him in Belgium as well, very good. You won the Golden Boot in Belgium.
Yeah, that's right. I believe you really know Sergio Conceição. And even we have something in common in our coaches. They were both players. They didn't play in a team together, I believe, but having a coach who played in PSV, but also Barcelona, Bayern, AC Milan, I believe it's different, I believe, to have a coach who was a player. Don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's different when you have a coach who won so much. He won Champions League himself. He played the World Cup final. People were a bit skeptical when Van Bommel first arrived last season. Mm-hmm. Perhaps a bit afraid of too many Dutchmen. Technical director, the coach, much of the staff. But he really won the hearts of the fans, especially when he started the season with 9 wins out of 9. But the way he conducts himself on the pitch and in interviews is really, we all enjoy. He's really much loved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. About our game on Wednesday. How do you believe it's going to develop?
Well, we're gonna have to not at Barcelona. We had a good first 10 to 15 minutes where we actually dominated the game, but then and we all thought, well, maybe we can get something out of this, but then there's so much class, and I believe Porto will have also much class, perhaps not as much as Barcelona, but definitely more experience. It's not to let your mind wander and not make small mistakes or take it too easy, because then teams with that much quality, they will kill you, and they won't stop after one goal. So we're gonna have to stay focused for 90 minutes. And something I didn't say earlier, but our strength is mostly in the center of our team. The goalkeeper, our two center backs, they have Vermeeren and Keita, if he'll play, in center of midfield, and then Jassen. Our sides are two backs and two wingers. They're a bit shaky. Nobody's really convinced that they're up to this level. So we'll have to see how that goes. Everybody will have to be at the top of their game if we want to get at least a point.
Playing at home, do you believe it gives you some advantage?
Yeah, definitely. I hear there's gonna be special action in the main stands, which should be very nice to see. And definitely our stadium has a big reputation in Belgium for being very a lot of atmosphere. Something that the people of Porto will find strange to see when you see the TV. There's an empty stand in front of it, and all the length of the pitch. It's due to some difficulties with building a new stadium, so it's completely empty. But you'll hear a lot of noise. Yeah.
Yeah, but I have that view of Belgian fans. I don't know why.
They're loud, yeah?
Yeah, they're really
Okay.
loud, I believe so.
In a good way, I hope.
Yeah, in a good way, in a
Okay.
good way. I have a good view of Belgian fans that
Okay.
are really supporters. Just, I believe, like the Germans, they have
Yeah.
really good
Yeah, always a
fans,
good atmosphere, yeah.
like during all the 90 minutes.
Do you know if the entire Porto away stand will be sold out?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah?
so.
Okay.
I don't know how many tickets were available for Porto.
Perhaps
But-
800 to 900. It's not very big.
Okay. Yeah, we usually sold out all the tickets away in Champions League. It's pretty common. Even in Barcelona, they have like 80,000 seats. Probably that they are going to give like 5,000 to 7,000 tickets to Porto.
Really?
It's going to sold out. Yeah.
Okay, because we only received 2,500 in Barcelona, but
Really,
yeah.
that's a
But
really low
it's not
percentage.
Camp Nou anymore, so perhaps that's something I have to do with it.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
Stadio
it's going to be
Olympique.
different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
much
maybe
weak
it's going
now.
to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you have any more questions about Porto.
Will you be joining your team on Wednesday in Belgium?
No,
No?
unfortunately not. Unfortunately not.
Okay, but I do have.
I'm going to try to go to Barcelona. It's a little
Okay.
closer.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm going to be in Porto in
Yeah.
2 weeks' time, and I have a question from somebody on our podcast, and he asks, "What's the best place to eat francesinha?" Francesinha. I
Okay.
don't know it. I googled it, and it looks very nice.
Yeah, it's really it's it's not a common opinion, but in mine it's called Santiago. I can text you afterwards.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
really
please
good.
do.
It's really good. It's really good.
Is it in the
Yeah.
center of Porto?
Yeah, it's in the center.
Okay.
You don't have to walk too much.
Okay, please do text me. I'll forward it.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
So, Duncan, I really appreciate this conversation. I wish all the best to Antwerp. Even against Porto, let's hope it's a really
Thank
good
you.
game.
Likewise.
And yeah, let's see if Antwerp can have a surprise on this Champions League group. Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
fingers crossed. And yeah, I really appreciate it, and we will see you soon.
Okay. Bye, Miguel.
Thank you.
Bye.
Liverpool 3-0. Corner taken quickly. Origi! Stays on Cristiano Ronaldo. Vai para Cristiano Ronaldo. Bateu. Golo.
Balotelli, Aguero! Posse de bola para Portugal, vai Éder, chuta! Gol!